PM, Doctor, 4 years strategic plan. Our project has begun. Thank you, partners. Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Today, we've made history. We've launched CATAI's 4-year strategic plan and also 2023 annual report. The Center for Advocacy, Transparency and Accountability Initiative, CATAI, is launching its 4-year strategic plan to promote a just society across Nigeria through the advocacy, research, impact, and innovation. The plan builds on our previous successes and outlines our vision for the next 4 years. CATAI have been in existence for the past 6 years, and we've used that 6 years to gather all the experience and capacity needed and taking it to the next 4 years. CATAI has been present in multiple locations with a focus on education protection, governance projects in the Bay State, which are Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe of the Northeast in Nigeria, specifically in communities like Maiduguri, Jere, Kondoga, Dikwa, Mongonu, Ngala, Bama, Angoza in Borno, and in Mubi South, Yola South, and Fufure in Adamawa State. Over 3.2 million people reached, focusing on girl education, children with special needs, and young women. Partnered with numerous agencies implementing projects on governance, gender-responsive public service, policy engagement, education, livelihood, peace building, and protection. Our vision promotes a just, true outreach and advocacy for institutional reform, capacity building, and citizens' empowerment. We strengthen local communities by creating platforms for dialogue, fostering informed debate, and enhancing citizens' capacity with humanitarian and development resources. We aim to amplify voices that are critical with independence and integrity while advancing social, economic, and environmental progress. Some of our key projects and achievements working with various partners are the establishment in 2018 in Nigerian Northeast region that was ravaged with conflict. CATAI positioned herself with the opportunity of ensuring we lead the peace-building efforts, educational intervention, governance, protection, empowerment, livelihood, and WASH, and also impacting children that are malnourished in most of the IDP camps. Also include providing quality and drinking water, championing gender-based program, and enhancing business skills for vulnerable women. We've partnered with UNICEF, UN Women, UN OCHA, Jesuit Refugee Services, Danish Refugee Council, Connected Development, USAID, Action Aid, Malala Fund, and many others. We've implemented a project that strengthens youth participation in civic and peace building space through knowledge building and community organizing projects, empowering young people in Hawul, Kwaya, Kusar, and Shani local governments. We've also enhanced the resilience of children affected by the insurgents, providing alternative learning methods and also distributing scholastic materials for learning. With the UNICEF-funded project, we enrolled and retained over 15,000 learners in Borno and Adamawa State. We've also reached over 700,000 beneficiaries in the Bay State through training and awareness campaign on various issues. In collaboration with Malala Fund, we've implemented Educated Girl project, increasing girls' child enrollment and retention, and also reducing early child marriage, particularly in Adamawa State. Our strategic plan from 2024 to 2028, which is 4 years, looks at empowering communities that drive holistic development through comprehensive intervention across focus areas like peace building, education, governance, protection, gender-based violence, mine action, empowerment, livelihood, water, sanitation and hygiene, and nutrition. We emphasize sustainable intervention, capacity building programs, and community engagement activities to enhance resilience and well-being of the beneficiaries. The plan also emphasized strategic alignment with priorities, robust community stakeholders engagement, and proactive risk management to navigate various challenges. Our aim is to create a lasting positive change and improving well-being of beneficiaries and stakeholders through collective effort and dedication. With all of this, we hope that communities will take ownership of our strategic plan. Both our partners in the international community, our other civil society partners, and the media will strategically dedicate efforts to foster sustainability and resilience in conflict-affected communities through strategic alignment, community and stakeholders engagement. There's a global campaign around localization, and CATAI was strategically positioned to lead the localization effort in the Northeast. We know that most of this humanitarian intervention before now, we mostly see international organizations, but CATAI has shown and proven capacity that we can lead this localization effort. And we've also heard from the UN that they have recognized that CATAI is one organization that is locally stationed to build resilience, but most importantly, hard to reach communities while taking lessons that integrate even government action. At this point, I would like to, on behalf of the board, as the board chairman, pass the vote of confidence on the executive director, who have led this organization for many years and who will drive the implementation of this newly launched strategic plan. We pass a vote of confidence on him. Also, CATAI is leading the changing in narrative of how young people are positioned in the Northeast. Before now, you would not hear success stories like this, but today, CATAI has shown that as a breeding ground for the next generation of leaders in Nigeria, in even the Lake Chad region, and across West Africa, CATAI is now championing and changing the narrative for young people to take leadership position in and out of government. Lastly, with this strategic plan, this would help us also expand not only to the Northwest, but across Nigeria as a national non-governmental organization who have championed various causes that have affected hard-to-reach communities and vulnerable groups.
Received and the support that we have seen and gotten from our partners, especially our donors and as well as UN agencies, as well as our NGOs that we have been engaging. For the past 1 week, we have been engaging alongside the Board of Trustees to have advocacies being conducted to quite a number of stakeholders, from the government MDS, government agencies, UN agencies, international non-governmental organizations, as well as strengthening partnership between ourselves and other youth-led non-governmental organizations that have been operating within Borno State. We want to sincerely appreciate each and every partner that believe in the cause of the non-governmental organization being led by young people across the northeastern part of Nigeria. From us speaking as the executive director of the organization, will make it possible with the management team to ensure that we give it the needed guidance, the needed support needed for us to actualize this dream or this great aspiration of the 4-year strategic objective. We hope and pray at the end of the time when we are coming back for the evaluation of this great strategy, it is time that we reflect to say that 99% of the strategy has been actualized. I want to sincerely appreciate the board chair alongside the board members for passing a vote of confidence on the management staffs of CATAI to see that we implement this and achieve the great need of empowering young girls and women across rural communities in Nigeria, especially within the Northeast and across the northwestern part of Nigeria, as we hope to expand to those part of the country. I think CATAI, from inception to date, we have been carrying media along throughout the work that we do, so as for the media to amplify the voices of those communities, not just for the communities to have access to duty bearers, but also to see that not for us as non-governmental organization image being projected, but for their needs being projected for government to take action. As to the question you rightly asked with regard to which strategic objective we'll be focusing on. From the strategy paper, you have seen that we have close to 9 strategic objectives, but trying to give priority on education. Even from our projection, you can see that we have projected to have close to 6.48 million USD that we are projecting to have education intervention across rural communities within the next 4 years. So this intervention within education is trying to see how we can empower young girls, how we can take out children and young girls, children within the street, so as for us to provide them with the opportunity to know their right, have access to education that will contribute to the greater, to great life as to their life in the future. And likewise, coming back to Anne, as she rightly asked, to how we think or we collaborate with the government, or are we collaborating with the government? Government have been a major stakeholders to all the work that we do. For us as an organization, we complement the effort of the government. So any work that that non-governmental organization does is to see that it complements the work of the government. To this strategy paper that we developed is a strategy paper that we come up with as a result of the review, brainstorming from the strategic objective and strategic document of the various government of the state that we work. Within the Adamawa state government, within Yobe state government, as well as Borno state government. In Borno state government, they have the 25-year development plan with the 10-year strategic objectives and pillars, as well as the launch of the durable solutions. So all of these key things are things that we made part of this very important document to see that it forms part of the key implementation to complementing the effort of the government. For us as organization, we cannot take the responsibility of the government. Citizens do pay taxes. Taxpayers' money is what is being utilized by the government to see that service delivery is being provided within communities. But for us as an organization, we complement the effort of the government in seeing that those key needs and those key gaps are being addressed, are being responded. Even before this launch, yesterday we were together with the Borno State Agency for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. This is to show the partnership, to show how we work closely with the government as well as other MDAs of government that we're working in different states. So I want to assure you that this document is a document that is not being owned by CATAI alone, but is a document being owned by the citizens of the states that we're working. In end, is a document owned by the government of those states. So it's a document that we believe at the end of the day, the government will come back looking into the document to make intervention and even draw inspiration from this document to respond to the needs of communities across many more. I think I'll hand over to Hamzi at this point, but even before then, Atiku make mention of our target with regard to beneficiaries and many more. We are an ambitious organization, being youth-led organization, an ambitious organization. What makes us happy and what gives us joy is to see we meet or we reach many beneficiaries. From what has been highlighted from the past 6 years, we have reached close to 3.5 million people. What that means is that we have quite a number of targets we want to see. This is something that has to do with resources. This is something that has to do with resource mobilization, and we'll put in effort to see that we mobilize resources to meet more than the 5 million people that we're trying to see that we target at the end of this strategic implementation.
Yes, without your support, your guidance, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be this known or even popular. You've helped to amplify, document, and also sensitize, the general public. And we're saying thank you, and we hope that you would continue to hold our hands and see us as partners towards progress. Nigeria is currently on a crossroad. We're dealing with inflation. We're dealing with issues around livelihood, high cost of living, and also malnutrition across, the Bay State. But I think that it's also important to mention that for us to achieve this strategic plan, we need the support of critical stakeholders, both from government, international, multilateral, the UN organization, even local non-governmental organization, to work with us as partners. And I think it's important for government particularly, because with government, they create enabling environment, but also with government, in changing narrative, they see us as partners towards progress. They see young people as tool that would bring about prosperity in Nigeria as we change the narrative and build the kind of country that we want. We believe that 2 things are critically important. Peace, because without peace, there will be no progress and prosperity. Another one is trust. And from CATAI's experience, we've built trust and sustained trust in various communities across Nigeria. And we think that government can leverage on the trust that we have built so that we can sustain and expand on this and reach much more communities. And I want government to see CATAI as an organization that is her partner towards progress in achieving the vision of Nigeria. On this note, I'd like to thank you, and we call this press conference to a close.
Sorry, I would like to ask someone question in Hausa.
He'll address the Hausa question.